It is 757 Saturday Sports Talk here on Cove Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe.
And now back to Matthew Hatfield and the evil basketball coach. Blast you, Ed Young!
All right, and we're back here on 757 Sports Talk with the evil basketball coach, Ed Young. I am Matthew Hatfield. Here's a guy who's never evil. He is the new head football coach of the Tallwood Lions. You know him from his days in the 757. Once upon a time, played quarterback at Green Run, slinging it to Plaxico Burris, and then went on to Liberty. He's coached all over the place, won a couple of state championships in North Carolina. He'll tell us about. Also led Indian River to the Southeastern District title as well. We say hello to our friend and congrats, Glenwood Ferebee. Coach, you got purple on now. I've not seen you before in purple, but how's the new digs going for you?
It's going pretty good. I'm excited. Been at it for about 2 weeks now. I'm excited about some of the things that I've seen.
Well, tell us what brought you back to the 757, because you did a little bit of college coaching as well. You've been at Hampton U. You were at Virginia Tech in a capacity with high school recruiting relations, if you will. And you led Vance High School, which will later be named Julius Chambers, to a couple of state titles. What brought you back to your home turf?
Just when the Tallwood job came available, I know over the years, we always talked as coaches, being that Tallwood was an attractive job just based off of the area that it's in and the talent that it constantly held over the years. Even back in the 90s when I was going to school, Tallwood was always talent rich. So that was attractive to me to get back to here. Then I think that's probably the only job. This is the only job that I would have came back home for.
And Ed, the Lions will get their season underway. It's not that far off in the distance with game number 1 coming up on August 28th. Right out of the chute, he gets his alma mater Green Run, the Stallions, defending region champs.
Yeah, so that's going to be a special game. special for me anyway. So we're going to be focused in. We're going to be locked in. And hopefully we can come out with a shocking W.
Congrats to you, Glenn. That was what I was going to lead into was, first of all, glad you're back in the area. And, your first game against your alma mater, I know you got to be a little bit geeked up for that in terms of, I know as coaches we say, well, all games are important. No one is bigger than the other. We say that, but we also know behind the scenes, there's some games we get a little bit up for, that being your alma mater. But again, I don't think nothing to prove. When you had great success there the first time, and then you decided to move on, which, as coaches, we always like to do that. What got you to move to the Carolinas in terms of the football down there?
It was strange. Crazy part was my son lives in Georgia. So part of the reason was me trying to get closer to him when he was younger. So I had to apply for a few jobs. Never got any interviews down in Charlotte. Then I got a phone call one day about the Chambers job, and I didn't even really know about Vance, honestly, until they called me and asked me would I be interested in the job, being that we had came off a 13-1 season. So I did some research on the job, and the job looked very, very, very attractive. And I kind of felt like I could go down there and make some things happen. So I went on and took the job and came out of there with 3 state championships appearances back to back, and 2 of them back to back. So it was a pretty good move for me. It showed me a lot. Charlotte has some great football down there, so I learned some things that they do different there than we did here when I was here. So I'm looking forward to bringing some of the things that I've learned from down there, back home.
And that was going to be my next question. Compare football here in the 757, which we feel is among the best anywhere, with that Charlotte area, which I know is rich in talent.
The kids are bigger in Charlotte. I know when I first got there, I was looking at my team and I was like, man, we're huge. And when I mean huge, I'm not even saying offensive line wise. I'm saying skill guys. My free safety was 6'3", about 215. And as well as I know, that's a linebacker down here in the 757. Mallard Creek had Trent Simpson on their team at that time. and he's playing with the Ravens now, and every linebacker on their team was his size. He's going to Clemson. So the kids are much bigger in Charlotte. Athlete-wise, we match up with them, but size-wise, they're much bigger. They're much bigger than we are here in the 757.
We're chatting with Glenwood Ferebee. He's the new head football coach of the Tallwood Lions. Our guest here on 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube page and interact with us. August 28th is the kickoff game against his alma mater, Green Run, at Tallwood High School, as the Lions look to make some noise in year one under Coach Ferebee. And I know it's early to get into player personnel, Coach, and I'm sure we'll have some time to do that. Maybe give us a name or two. But I want to start off with names, your coaching staff. You brought in a very well-known, venerable coordinator, Vincent Pugh, to run the defense. And I think I might have seen, correct me if I'm wrong, also Terry T.J. Mitchell going to be coaching. Quarterback. Did I get that right? Or incorrect on that?
Yeah, Coach Pugh. The funny thing is, Coach Pugh was in the building, and I was walking by, and at first I didn't recognize him until he stopped me and talked to me. I said, "Coach Pugh." So he's like, "You don't even recognize me." I said, "Yeah, now I do." So he asked me, he said, "How's everything going?" And I said, "Everything's going pretty good." I said, "Everything's going with you." He was like, "Everything's pretty good." I said, "You ready to come out of retirement?" And he basically said that, he wanted to get back in, but he wanted to be the right situation. And he felt like me getting the job was the right situation for him to come out of retirement. So that was a big get for me. And it was a surprising get because I thought he was done coaching. So that was a big get. Terry Mitchell, I had talked to Terry a while ago about, coaching quarterbacks, and he was excited about coming on board. I got Devin Hunter on board as well. So that's another huge get for me with his training background and his energy and things like that. I kept two guys off the staff. I got Damon McNair back in the fold, the old Tallwood quarterback. That he was the first graduating class at Tallwood, so I've gotten him back in the mold, and he coached at Lansdowne, as you well know, with Coach Beatty back in the day. So he has some championship pedigree himself. I got Brandon Allen from Grassfield and Deep Creek. The teams that he coached at Grassfield that made some deep playoff runs with Coach Asprey. So he comes from a good pedigree. I think the biggest thing with me was getting guys that a mixture of veterans and a mixture of young guys. Some young guys that played at a high level, and guys that are going to be enthusiastic about doing the job, and also guys that can relate to the kids and give them, their history and their story of the things that they had to do in order for them to make it. So they kind of have somebody that they can look up to say, hey, what he's telling me is the right things to do to get to where because they've been there. So that was huge for me to be able to get those guys on the staff.
Ed?
And Coach, you get the job just recently. A lot of football programs are into it come January. Season's over, December, give the kids some time off, and then get back into the lifting and that, conditioning a little bit come January, February. Put their stuff in. Even some of the new hires will get hired probably before the school year is over. You don't have all that luxury. Now, you're a veteran, been successful everywhere you've been. Does that mean you do some things a little different? Not so much, I'm going to say shortcut, but how do you institute what you want now that in getting what I would consider getting the job late, even though regular practice haven't started yet?
Funny thing is, I got the Vance job at the same time. When I left and went to Charlotte, I got the Vance job the same exact time. I didn't get there until June. Not to say that, it's the same type of team, but the same approach. I'm going to take the same approach. I talked to the kids. I told them it's a late start. I told them we just want to get better each week. Starting last week, getting all the way through week 10. And once we get to the playoffs, if that's in our future, then, we'll take it one game at a time. So we're not looking at it as let's look at it and say, hey, let's get better right now. It's going to be a gradual get better type of deal. But the kids they've been working hard, man, for the past for the 2 weeks that, I've been with them, they've been working their butts off, doing everything we asking of them without any complaining. And so that's the biggest thing. The buy-in is there. The buy-in is there. And that's half the battle when you taking over a program late and not having to deal with the struggles of getting the kids to buy in. So the buy-in is already there. So that's one hurdle that we didn't cross. So now it's more or less, training them in the way that we want them to play football. Not even the X's and O's type of deals, the fundamental part that we're focusing on right now. We're mixing in some X's and O's. But I think being a fundamentally sound team, you always give yourself a chance to win in any game.
Couple more minutes here with Glenwood Ferebee, head football coach with Tallwood Lions. Our guest here on 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And, Coach, you've coached a number of standouts over the years. You mentioned Devin Hunter, who's now on your coaching staff, was a key member of those Indian River teams. And you think of Lamarion James, who's looking to make an NFL roster, among others. I know it's early, but any couple of youngsters, it could be an underclassman, a senior or two, we should watch out for this fall for your Lions and what we should expect identity-wise. You were a guy that likes to sling it around, so I'm imagining you want to put the ball in the air if you've got the athletes to do it.
Yeah, I'm still learning some of the kids' names at this point, so I don't want to mess up anybody's names at this point. But we have a young football team, man, and that's a great thing. Got some standout ninth graders that been working out that have been surprising. I got a few rising 10th graders that look real good. And if we could keep those guys together, and we got some seniors that's out there leading as well. Have a tackle that's about 6'6". That's going to be real special. And he's a rising junior. Joe, I don't want to butcher his last name, but his first name is Joe. He's going to be an impact player for us this year.
You can just call him Big Joe. He's that big, by the way.
Yeah, Big Joe. Yeah, Big Joe. He's been to some camps. He's done well. I done got some phone calls from some of the colleges about him. And they're going to be watching for him and his development. So he's going to be one underclassman junior that's going to be a nice prospect for, some of these Power 4 schools. And I got Jamari. I'm not going to butcher his last name, but he's a slot receiver / running back. He's a rising senior. He's going to be real good for us. Kid's last name Burst. Played defensive back for him last year. Yeah. He's going to be a real good one as well. So those are just some of the guys that I remember the names right off my head. But it's a slew of guys that's out there. I just don't recall their name at this point because I'm still getting to know some of the kids. But it's a slew of guys out there that looks real good. We just got to develop their raw. We just got to develop them fundamentally. I think if we can do that in a short period of time, we give ourselves a chance.
We'll do what Hank Sawyer at Lake Taylor and the former Hampton Crabbers legendary coach Mike Smith did. Give them some nicknames. It'd be easier that way.
Oh, 100%. They're coming. Look, they're coming. They're coming.
Ed?
But, Devin Hunter, Lamarion James, Kevin Concepcion was one of my kids at Chambers. He was a ACC Rookie of the Year. Dalen Hollywood Smothers, starting running back at NC State this year. James Pierce. Funny thing about my kids, Coach, when they go to school, they play, if that makes sense. So all my kids, played as freshmen for the most part. So that means they're being developed the way that they're supposed to, and that's what I talk about, being fundamentally developed when they can go off to college and play early. That's how you're doing a great job or a decent job as a high school football coach. Where
let me ask you this question, but I'm sure Ed can follow this up too. I know he always talks about the trophies. We always want to win championships as coaches, but when he sees your former players, he's got a number of them playing overseas, the Don Shaw Brights, the Shannon Evans, the Andre Jones. For you, Glenwood, I imagine that's something that thrills you as much, if not more, the joy and satisfaction you get watching these young kids do things on the big stage in college football. Now some of them getting to do it at the pro level.
Yes, 100%, man. That's what it's about. To give these kids chances to, better get better situations in their lives if their situation calls for that. But the growth of them, from young men to men at this point, it's great to see. I get a chance to go see the kids play, and they come back home. They come to see you. And I had an opportunity to go to my first NFL draft party this past year. So that was a great experience. So just looking forward to doing the same thing at Tallwood, getting these kids developed where they can go off to school and play.
Should be a fantastic ride for Coach Ferebee and the Lions. Last one, go ahead, Ed.
Yeah, my only thing is, Glenwood, to have you back is put that sucker in the air 30, 40 times a game. I'm all about passing. 3rd and 1, we're throwing it. 4th and inches from the goal. I'm tossing to the halfback. He's rolling. He's going to pitch it out to the tight end. Keep that stuff going because some of these doggone football coaches, it's, 3 downs and a cloud of dust or whatever the heck they say. I'm tired of getting dusty. I want to see the ball in the air.
I got you, Coach. You know me. We're going to spin that thing around.
Hey, and before we let you run, I got to get this to you, too. Next week, we've got on Mike Beal, the new football coach at Grassville, coming on. Like you, he put up some numbers back in his day in the beach playing for Chris Beatty at Salem. Who throws a football further nowadays, you or him?
I probably had to warm up get about 50 throws in to be able to get the rust off this arm. So he'll probably get me in the first couple.
Okay. He can get you now. You give it to him. All right. We'll
Yep.
see if he concurs next week. Well, hey, we look forward to documenting and chronicling what happens for you and the Lions here in 2025 and beyond. Thanks so much for the time today, and all the best for the rest of your weekend.
All right. Appreciate y'all.
You got
Good
it.
luck, Coach.
All right, now. Thank you.
That is the one and only Glenwood Ferebee back in the 757 as the head football coach of the Tallwood Lions in Virginia Beach. Should be exciting to watch what's in store for them. Ed's already going on a limb and said,